When I say solving using multiple steps in an equation, could mean many different things. Here's one example. So when I'm doing this, multiple steps means, well, you can see there's just a lot more to the problem than some of the problems we've done in the past. However, our strategy remains the same. Work outside in, work opposite the order of operations. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, 3x minus 4. Is there anything I can do within that parenthesis to make that simpler? Can I combine them together? This is a 3x, that's a 4. Are they the same exact type of number? And the answer is no. This is just number, counting how many numbers there are, -4 of them. This is counting how many x's there are. This is x's, that's a number. I cannot combine them into one thing. So this parenthesis set doesn't do anything. It's just holding things together. So I have 3x minus 4 plus 7 equals 2x minus 1. And then I say, okay, now my parentheses are gone. Can I do any other kind of simplifying? Do I have any similar types of numbers? On the left, I've got x's. I've got a number. I've got a number. On the right, I've got x's, and I've got a number. Some of you think, well, but that's technically a number, Mr. Stefan. Correct, but that number is tied to the x. They go together. They're being multiplied. They are, they're just tied together. This 2 is talking about x's. This one is talking about numbers. So over here on the left-hand side, I've got these two values that both are dealing with just straight numeric values, numbers. So I have -4 plus 7. So I can combine those two because they're similar types of numbers. So I'd have 3x, and then I have -4 plus 7. And if you think of your number line, and if I'm starting at -4, because that's the starting point here, and I'm going up 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I end up 3 points above, or for a grand total of plus 3, that equals 2x minus 1. So now I have 3x plus 3 equals 2x minus 1. And again, ultimately, my goal in solving means, can I get my variable all by itself on one side? So I just have at the end, in this case, x, because that's my variable. Do I have x equals something? Well, but in order to do that, I need both of these x's on the same side of the equal sign. Equal sign, again, means balance. In order to balance it, I need to somehow do something that maneuvers this 2x onto that side of the equation. So I'm going to do equals. I'm going to do the same thing to both sides. I'm going to subtract 2x. Why am I not dividing by 2x? The reason why is this 2x is not being multiplied. It's being added. It's 2x minus 1. This is add, subtract. That's what I'm going to do. Subtract 2x from both sides. When I do that, on the left-hand side, I've got, well, let me just write the whole thing out. So what I then have is I have, like I just did there, I did the 3x minus 2x plus 3. And then I have the 2x minus 2x plus 1. So I showed the negative 2x on both sides. 3x minus 2x is just 1x plus 3 equals 2x minus 2x is 0 x's. So I'm not going to write 0x, I'm just going to write the plus 1. If you want, you can even, if you have that little plus there, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just we typically don't write that on there. All right, so I have 1x plus 3 equals 1. I do not yet have x all by itself. To get x all by itself, I need to maneuver this 3 away from it. And again, I'm going to write down my equal sign, because I'm going to do the same thing to both sides. I have plus 3x, because they're adding 3x. The opposite of adding is subtracting. So I then have 1x plus 3 minus 3, leaves me just with x equals, and on the right-hand side, 1 minus 3 is -2. Multiple step problem, finally solved to one portion of it, just down to one solution. what I'd like you to do, well, let's take a look at this. What I need to do first is I need to get all of my x's to one side. So the first thing I need to do is subtract. And I know I need to subtract because this is adding and subtracting. So if I need to move this x to the left-hand side, I need to subtract x. After I subtract x, I'll have all my x's over here. So I'll need to combine them. Then I'll need to move numbers. I have these numbers left. And this I'll have to go to the other side. The 2 goes to the other side. So it looks like I'm going to do some more subtracting. Alright, and then I'll have on the left-hand side only x's, and on the right-hand side I'll have only numbers. And then I'm going to either, depending on how you want to look at, I'm going to either need to multiply or divide, depends on how you view things, because I say or because, like if I multiply by a half, that's the same as dividing by 2. Or if I divide by 3, that's the same as multiplying by 1/3. So you either have to multiply or divide to get to the end. What you're going to do on your quarter sheet of paper is you're going to fill in the steps. Show this work, then show this work, and then show this work. And I'll tell you what the answer is so that way you know if you did it right. If you didn't do it right, go back and see if you can find your mistake. Just move that up out of the way a second there. So if you did this right at the end, you'll have x equals 10.5. Well, like I said, no work, no credit. You need to show some steps in here. Even if they're wrong, show me what you're thinking and how you're going about. What's the first subtraction that you're doing? What's the second subtraction you're doing? Then are you going to multiply or divide? And if you get the wrong answer different than 10.5, then just know that you did something wrong, and we'll figure it out when you come to class. But I want you to show your work, even if it's wrong. Do not leave it blank. That's it. Do that. We'll see you in class.